Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Hilary and today I will be talking about my February TBR. Before that, I'd like to go over my January TBR. I'll just say the books I read and how many stars I gave. If you want to get a little bit more in-depth opinions about the books, you can I'll tag the specific book review or just in my general vlog. The first book I read was The Guild Codex comic collection by Annette Marie and Ashley Zanardi, and I gave it 5 stars purely because I love this series. Next we have the Winterhouse trilogy by Ben Gooderson, The Winterhouse, The Secrets of Winterhouse and The Winterhouse Mysteries, and I read it in an audiobook, that's why I don't have a physical copy of them, and I gave it 4 stars, 3 stars and 3 stars accordingly to book 1, 2 and 3. The next two books got 5 stars for me. The first one was The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang, and the second one was She Who Became the Sun by Shelley Parker Shan. I loved both of them. They're both Asian-inspired fantasies, and I enjoyed the journey that both characters take upon, and I recommend for you to read them. Next I picked Pestilence by Laura Thalassa as a palate cleanser. It's a fantasy romance, a smart one, about 4 horsemen of apocalypse. This book is about the pestilence, and I gave it 2 stars because honestly there were some things that I could not get by. Next I read Year of the Reaper by Makia Lucier, and I planned to do an in-depth review about this book, but sadly I got sick and lost my voice, so I can tell you I gave it 4 stars. I really loved the characters, the relationships between the main character and his brother. I really loved and enjoyed those, but I thought that the author could have gone more in depth with these emotional scenes, because for me I just was about to get more feelings, teared up, and then the scene ended. So, but definitely I love this uniqueness, and honestly it's such a beautiful book. I recommend reading it. Next I picked up a reread for me, and that was the Armaregian series by Stacey Reid, the first 2 books, The Eternal Darkness and Eternal Flames, and I just loved that whole world building and the characters and the magic system, but upon rereading it I found it not as good, so I gave it both of those books 4 stars, but honestly probably should have been a little bit lower, but I just have very strong nostalgic feels, so just so you know, and it's also paranormal smart book. And the last book I have read up to this moment is An Echo of Things to Come by James Islington, and this is the second book in the Lycanius trilogy, and I just had to give it 5 stars because I absolutely love this series. As I said, as of this moment, 27th, I have 5 more days to read, so I'm not sure what I'm picking up, but I think I'm going to continue with book 3 and 4 of the Armaregian series by Stacey Reid, and then we'll see what I am feeling up to. But as of right now I have read 4,120 pages, which is quite impressive, and most of these are 4 or 5 stars, and some couple of 3 stars in there, so I'm really happy with my January reading. Now for the February TBR, I am going to keep it quite small, and I do have a lot of actually audiobooks on my TBR, my main TBR, and also I'm participating in one readathon, the Polarthon by J.D. Ray Reads. So I will go over also what I will be including in that book as of right now at least. The first book in my list has to be The Light of All That Falls by James Islington, the third book of the Lycanius trilogy. It is a chunker, over 800 pages, and I can't wait to finish it, but I'm also really scared because the second book gave me so many heartbreaks and my mind got blown so many, so I'm not even anything sure what is coming. It is a high epic fantasy about 2 main characters. We have one boy that doesn't remember anything from his past, but looks like he had quite dark past, and the second one is Davian. He is a special magical skills that needs to find and help the world because there are demons that have been bound against behind the wall, and they are trying to break through and kill the world. Second book on my TBR is The Dragon Republic, the second book in the Poppy War, and this is the epic high Asian-inspired fantasy. More specifically, I think about Sino-Japanese Second War, if I remember correctly, and we are following main character Rin, who did want to get away from her hometown because she was being kind of sold as to somebody else, an older dude, and so the only thing possible was to pass some really hard exams to get very into the top military academy, and sadly we got some war in the meantime, so she's just trying to survive, and I think that's, I'm not going to say anything else because I think that's going to be spoiling. But again, this is somewhat chunker, 685 pages. So at least 2 books here are already up to quite a lot of pages. For the rest of my TBR, I don't have any of the books physically, so I will be reading them in audiobook format from Scribd or buying them on Kindle. I'm not 100% sure what way I will be going, but we'll see. I think there should be 1 or 2 library books also there that I am lending in a Kindle format. The first one is Snow Like Ashes by Sarah Rush. That was also on my January TBR, and I changed that one for Pestilence. That was supposed to be my February pick, because I think I will be getting that Snow Like Ashes on Scribd in the beginning of February. If not, I'll pick something else. And that book is a fantasy young adult book that is about destroyed kingdom, stolen magic, and a young girl helping to reclaim their homeland. So I don't know a lot about it. I once was intrigued by the cover. The plot sounded decent, and it's on my Goodreads TBR, and I'm just trying to finish those books. Next book on my TBR is Each of Us Desert by Mark Oshiro, and this is a fantasy book taking place in a desert and trying to find home and falling in love. So sounded really interesting. Additionally, it also fits my buzzword reading prompt, that is the pronouns, and it has stayed on my Scribd account for a long time, so I'll be listening to it and seeing if I like it. Last book on my official TBR is non-fiction that you recommended to me in my last TBR, and the lucky book was Bad Blood, Secrets and Lies in a Silicon Valley Startup by John Carreyrou. I'm not sure about that. And it's a story about breathtaking rise and shocking collapse of a multi-billion-dollar startup. So I will be listening to it on an audiobook format. And also, additionally, it fits with my friend's reading challenge, and for that it was non-fiction. If I have any more time, I will be reading other non-fictions also, but since I do have a couple of audiobooks on my TBR for next month, I'm not sure if I will manage it, but if not, I'll maybe pick them up in March or in April. That's about for my official TBR, since we do have a couple of really chunkers in there. And I do want to read specific middle grades for Polarthon, so I will be keeping it as that. Right now that makes about 2,742 pages, which is quite a big amount, and if we will include my Polarthon picks, that will make it about over 4,000, so I think I'm gonna cut it a little bit close, so I'm not sure if I can actually manage the whole Polarthon TBR. And also for the books in my Polarthon TBR, I will maybe change them. Not everything is 100% sure. We'll see what I'm feeling, but I do want to get through at least a couple of middle grades. So I will be on the team of the hikers, I think it was, from the Gavin's team. So my prompts are adventure, cold word, foil cover, icy magic, and polar fantasy. For the adventure, I am picking House with the Chicken Legs by Sophie Anderson. I have wanting to try some more middle grades, and she is highly recommended. So it is a middle grade Slavic folklore retelling, so I'm quite interested to see what it is about. The second prompt, the code word, is The Long Forgotten Winter King by Annette Marie, and it is in the same universe as the Codex comic collection, and this is about Druid called Zack. It's the second book in that miniseries, and I'm very excited about reading that. Also, the third book should be coming out in May, so I will be definitely reading it also as soon as I can. For the third prompt, foil cover, I'm not 100% sure what I am picking. I have right now written down Language of Thorns by Leigh Bardugo. That should be the short stories or myths book from the Shadow and Bones universe. I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to keep it in there or not. We will see how I'm feeling. I do want to keep most of the books to 200 to 300. So I will actually, I'm able to get through 5 books in a week. So we'll see. If you have any good recommendations, you can drop them down in the comments section. For the first prompt, Icy Magic, I thought Snow Like Ashes should fit by Sarah Rush because it should have winter magic, at least the synopsis said so, so we'll see if that fits, hopefully. And for the last, we have the Polar Fantasy, and for that I do want to read Frostfire by Jamie Smith. As of right now, I haven't gotten it anywhere from a good price. It is on a Kindle for I think about $8, so I'm really interested in it, but we'll see if I'm gonna pick it or not. And this is about a survival story about a girl stuck on an icy mountain and trying to find a way back home. And it's also middle grade. Cover looks amazing. It sounds amazing, so I think I'm gonna just buy it. I usually don't like to pay for audiobooks more than $5, but maybe for this one I will. And this makes my Polarthon TBR 1610 pages if I am keeping those books, so we will see. I'm hoping that it will be manageable and I can get through all of them. If not, I think I can stretch it and finish the book in 1 or 2 days after the Polarthon with no problems. And as of overall, as I said before, my February TBR is 4052 pages, which is quite a lot, but somewhat manageable. I just, since most of the books are on audiobook, at least half of them, then I do have to take my time and actually listen to them. I usually forget that I should be listening to audiobook, so we will see, and hopefully I get through everything. If not, that's okay, and if I'm really feeling it, I can always change any book I want. But from you, I do want a recommendation for one book for my March TBR, and that is standalone book. So it can be anything from any genre. I think any book that you think that standalone is standalone and you think is amazing or that I should read it, drop it down in the comments, and I will be picking one book on the 15th of February and add it to my March TBR. But this is about it. I have a really sad physical TBR, but there is quite a lot of books on my actual TBR, and I do hope you find at least some of them interesting and want to know what I think about them. I will be doing a couple of vlogs. I think I'm gonna do Polarthon vlogs and 2 more other ones, and I will be doing a mini review definitely about the non-fiction book Bad Blood, the story of Silicon Valley startup or something like that. I am going to do a review of the Lycanius trilogy, and I'm not sure anything else. I will see how am I doing these book reviews. I will maybe change them up or do something else. I have a couple of ideas, we will see, but this is about it for today. So thank you for watching. I do hope you enjoyed this video, and bye!